Warning: the following content is intended for mature audiences. We are four amigos who talk about what we want to talk about, and all of this is our own opinions. We do not treat our opinions as fact. Hopefully, you wouldn't either, unless you're an asshole. But thanks for listening or watching.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Far Side of the Pod. I'm Jordan. We got Ridge.
What's up, y'all?
We got Mikey.
Hello.
And we got Caleb. Caleb.
Did you not hear me?
No.
No,
Oh,
you didn't say
dang.
a word. It was just
I made a
silence.
noise and it didn't go through. That makes me so sad. It was a really good noise too.
All right, so
And
Dang.
Caleb, deathly silence.
No, I'm so upset about that now,
he
guys.
broke the
Ruined.
sound barrier.
I must have. I was so loud that I knocked a window out next door.
Was it because of your back again?
My back.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's not
my
all right, boys. All
back.
right, let's not talk about that.
All right.
That's going
All
on.
right, so today
Uh,
we're going to take y'all on a little journey through what we call is this podcast. And we're going to start with what we've been talking about the last few weeks and what we're going to continue to talk about till probably January when the national championship is college football. I got,
Yeah.
we got some scores to talk about and some games to talk about. Rich, since you don't want to talk too much about it, go ahead and talk about the Florida situation here, man.
I just said I didn't want to talk about it, and then you say, yeah, since you don't want to, talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. If we have any words, let's just go ahead and get it out of the
suffer
way.
for our audience, Ridge.
Okay.
Suffer.
So it was embarrassing to watch. Don't know a score off the top of my head. I think it was like 33 or 30-22.
It was
Fact check.
33-20.
It's like
33-20.
what?
I'm looking at the
That's what
scoreboard
I
right
was
now.
thinking.
Okay, 33-20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those. You would think that us scoring 20 might have happened all throughout the game. No, it happened the last quarter. It was embarrassing, ready for Napier to be out the door, and for whoever to come on through later on down the road to come on through later on down the road. It, whoever it's going to be, I don't know whether it's Kiffin, whether it's,
Yeah.
you know, Ryan Day, whether it's whoever. Just somebody that's actually good at the job, preferably, and not somebody I'm going to have to sit here and worry about getting us to 7 wins.
I agree. Obviously, every time I say this, it hurts as a Tennessee fan, but I really was pulling for Florida to beat A&M because I kind of have a grudge against A&M. And I was really, and when I saw the score at the end, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's not exactly what I was hoping to see. But my opinion on it is I think, and this is like a stretch in a way, but I think what's going to happen is if by the time you get to us, if you haven't won more than one game and you lose to us, then for sure Billy Napier's fired. Like probably right then.
Oh no, they're saying there's like leaked reports saying that they're probably going to announce Monday that he's out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They've already had a meeting today, a team's meeting that they've had today. They're keeping the team hush hush about it for right now. So there's a high chance that he's out the door by the
You might be right then.
And
Good.
Ridge,
Well,
Ridge
I
didn't
honestly wasn't expecting that fast.
Ridge, didn't you say that the boosters were like paying $23 million to get him out of there?
way. From what I heard and what I saw, I believe it was 26 was what they were pushing to make sure that he was out and paid.
Damn.
So they are definitely tired of him. Now, will I say that will fix everything? No, absolutely not. I think that just as much as getting him out the door, they also need to get out the athletic director. He's the one that has picked 3 different head coaches. I believe it's been 3. It might have been 4 by now. And all of them have not been it for us. So we
I
need to
heard
take it up
I
the chain.
heard that he's already resigned.
No.
That's what I'm just saying. I heard that yesterday.
Nope, he's still there. He will be
Mm.
there to the end of the season at least.
Yeah.
Mm.
All
So
right.
we
Well,
won't thing
But
on that front until then.
but just a big rippy dippy for Florida this week, and we just wanted to get that out of the way before we talked about some other games. Um, First big one that I could think of that I was really looking into earlier in the day yesterday was LSU in South Carolina.
yeah.
LSU winning 36-33. And I really, honestly, I hate to fucking say it, but I was really pulling for South Carolina to pull that out.
Oh God, no.
Just because, I mean, it's another SEC team that could have went down. That's the only reason I thought
Well,
that.
I mean, I understand. I was at first too, but I will say this: me and David were actually sitting there watching that game. We were flipping in between them. We were actually flipping in between that one and the Boston College game, and I think the Memphis game. And when it got towards the end of the South Carolina game, we looked at each other and we decided we wanted LSU to win for one reason only. Those fans were so quick to want to rush the field
Yeah,
that it was just embarrassing. And also, for one, you can't forget how dirty they did us
true. I mean, I
2 years ago with Hendon.
trust me, I get
So
that
I
part.
really do not like South Carolina. The only reason I agree with you on them winning was knocking out a ranked SEC team. I'm for that, but at the same time, right at the end there, it was just like, you know what, I honestly do hope LSU wins, and since it was such a tight game, I don't think it matters, and
No,
we
it
don't
really
even
don't.
play either of them this year, so it really doesn't matter to us who wins that one so much. It was just a more like we were invested in watching it because I like LSU more than I like South Carolina,
Right.
technically,
Before we get the deep
but
dive into any other game, I'm just gonna name off some quick games that we knew was gonna be fucking blowouts.
oh yeah.
Like Nebraska and Northern Iowa's 34-3, with the way fucking that kid Raiola's been playing, literally looking like Patrick Mahomes 2. Well, technically Patrick Mahomes 3 because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes 2, but
Yeah,
fucking,
technically.
but still, Texas beat the shit out of UTSA, um, 56-7. But Quentin Ewers went down with a injury in the second
Oh
quarter,
yeah.
and Arch Manning came out and put on a fucking show. Like,
Sure did.
I'm talking about that dude is fast.
And obviously, none of us like to see a player get hurt, but to hear that it was a abdomen, strain, like like very possibly popping a ab.
Oof.
It's that's a rough one. He's going to be out for a while.
I wish the best for him because I do like Quentin Ewers. I think he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. Not not I'm not we're not the big Texas fans only
No.
because for us we're the real UT but like you never ever want to see a player actually get hurt like that. You can it happens when you hope someone gets a cramp and it kind of slows them down or something. But like when someone really takes a real damaging injury, it's never fun.
Ole Miss beat Wake Forest 40-6.
Hey, hold on a
Oh, so,
second.
okay.
That Dr. Pepper commercial ain't sitting right with him now, is it?
Fuck no.
Mm. That's so messed up.
Damn.
Good Lord.
But yeah,
Bruh.
Ole Miss smacked the shit out of Wake Forest 40-6.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about that. Ole Miss is good. We know that. Fuck them. Um,
Yeah. Lane Kiffin can suck it.
Miami beat Ball State 62-0.
Oh,
Oklahoma beat
Poor Ball
Tulane
State.
34-19. Honestly, I was hoping Tulane would pull that out, but still, Oklahoma, the fuck are you doing? Tulane 34-19.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah. And
next.
even worse is that they struggled like most of the first half with them.
Well,
It was a power
all I can
struggle.
say about that damn game is see you next Saturday, baby.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm ready for that next game.
uh, Notre
I don't
Dame.
want
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to hear that that was a struggle game whenever Georgia struggled against Kentucky.
Hey, we're
Hey, we're
getting
getting
there,
there. We're
bro.
getting
Don't
there. We're getting
worry.
there. I was about to say the
Yeah, we're
last
getting there.
blowout
Don't
game.
worry.
So another thing, real quick. I don't know if this is the last blowout game or not or anything, but just as a
A few
Gator
more.
fan, knowing what's going to come, I am so glad to see Florida State at 0-3.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Hey, I'm glad Memphis. I'm glad
That was a
Memphis
fun
won.
game, y'all.
Look, the kicker for McMinn County is now the kicker for Memphis.
Hmm.
So I
Is it
think
really?
yeah, we had a
Yeah.
kid who graduated last year go to Memphis.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Um. Oh, here's the last three blowouts. We got Oregon beat Oregon State 49-14. Notre Dame beat Purdue 66-7.
Oh
And
yeah.
and of course the big one, which I was at. Uh, we had the motherfuckers 65-0 at halftime. Tennessee beat Kent State 71-0. Fucking
And
That
speak.
is
let's just
so
say this right
foul.
now: if we had left in our big boy team, it
Oh
would have
no.
well been over 100.
Oh yeah, no for sure,
Oh, like
That's
we had
so
37
foul.
points in the
dude.
first quarter. We looked up the stat actually to see the most we'd ever scored in a quarter, and the last time we scored close to that was 35
In 2002.
in 2000 against Arkansas.
Yeah.
So we set a new record for ourselves
Now
last night, as
I
well
gotta
as like
I gotta tell y'all something so fucking funny. So I was showing Brittany the highlights last night, and the fucking commentator said something that made me hit the floor. Dude, the commentator said, "Looks like Tennessee is out there playing Lenore City."
Oh,
wow,
no!
that's
I
awesome.
know shit. That's what they said.
Yeah, that's foul.
But nah, man. I will say. I mean, of course, we all know Tennessee's atmosphere is unmatched. It is insane. Um, I will say this too. Nico is bigger in person than you think he is. Like he
Oh
look,
yeah,
like we all know he's got a little bigger on the off season, but like seeing him in person, that dude's pretty big, like built wise.
yeah.
Like
I
not,
like how he's filled out.
but great game. Dylan Sampson had 4 touchdowns. Dante Bishop had 2 touchdowns. We ran all over our ass. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so we're going to talk about the Georgia Kentucky game now.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it because I was at the game, of course. But people around me were like keeping up with it, and they were showing the highlights and shit on the screen and everything. Georgia, how the fuck do you lose to Kentucky, who just got blown out by South Carolina
They
last week?
didn't lose.
No, how do you almost lose to Kentucky? To that a team who like I just said got blown out by South Carolina last week. And I'm talking about they didn't just like beat you. Well, they didn't almost beat you. They literally about embarrassed you. I don't even think did they get a touchdown? They had to get at least one, right?
I'd imagine so. I didn't
I,
watch the
th- I
game. I
think
seen the score, and I
Yeah, I
thought,
think Georgia did. I think Georgia
I
did.
know I know Kentucky didn't. Yeah, Kentucky.
But
I
for the
mean,
first like 3 quarters almost, it looked like a dang like baseball game with the score.
literally Kentucky hit a field goal in each of the quarters, and Georgia hit a field goal in the second, third, and scored a touchdown at the end. And I'm gonna
Yep,
tell you
that's what I
this:
thought.
when we were in the traffic last night trying to get out of Knoxville, I was watching the end of the game on my phone, and Kentucky's fucking stupid, dude.
Oh yeah, were
They
they,
had they
dude?
they
We
had
were
three
talking.
seconds
Even
left.
Papa was upset about that one because he was like, Stoops, you're stupid. And I was like, yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
they had 3 seconds left on the clock,
yeah.
and they got a first down, so it stopped the clock. Well, no, there was 5 seconds
They
left on the
spiked the
clock.
ball.
There was 5 seconds left on the clock. They threw a first down, so when they got to the next play, it was 3 seconds. They spiked the ball, which gave them one more play, and instead of going for a Hail Mary, the quarterback throws a touch pass, like a touch pass in the middle to the fucking tight end who was covered by three guys.
Yeah,
Instead
and
of
that was
going,
a cheap ball.
That
That
doesn't
was
make no
so
fucking
stupid.
sense.
why?
He made some real bad mistakes right at the end. I don't know if you know that was like the second. That was the second mistake he made in at the end there, but it was the most fatal one he made.
Let me tell you, I felt so bad for Kentucky fans, dude, and I
Yeah,
hate Kentucky. But
Yeah,
but Lord, dude, they look like they just lost their mom in a bad car wreck, dude. They
yeah,
were
like they
Oh
were.
sad.
shit! Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That analogy, brother.
They were
Ouch.
fucking sad, dude.
Oh no.
All right, Ridge, you got anything to say more on college football?
No, not really.
All right. So, next segment, we're going to just touch up on some bad blood with WWE. That's going to be in Atlanta on October 5th. Um, I know there's only 3 matches that we know that are confirmed. We got.
Hold on, man.
I'll let Ridge take this one over.
All right. So, as far as I know, what we know, we have Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley for the world champion, women's
Go,
world champion.
mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we might have LA Knight versus Andrade there.
Oh,
Bad blood.
that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad.
We have excuse me, I just about went brain dead on us. We have Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
That should be a banger.
And then the last match that I know of as of right now is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell.
And boy, is that an exciting sounding match.
Yeah, the match that they put on just this last couple weeks ago. If that was that good, imagine how good the Hell in a Cell is going to be. And
Guys,
I'm
I gotta be honest.
what?
I gotta be honest. I'm not excited about it.
Why?
Why? Because we've had how many matches now of theirs?
This is only going to be the third one.
But
No, I'm pretty sure
but
this is the fourth.
No, it's
it's gone
third.
on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This whole stew has been since WrestleMania.
It's called long-term storytelling.
Yeah, but it's not really progressed anywhere story wise. It's always the same accusation.
It's the
So
same.
that's why I agree with Ridge that they've kind of prolonged the same situation too much. Like, and don't get me wrong, him attacking Punk and doing the whole thing he did, with feeding him his, bracelet and attacking him as he was getting ready to be on the ambulance. I thought that was cool and all, but at the same time, deep down, I was like, man, are we really doing this again?
It just feels
Oh,
exhausted to me. Maybe if they wouldn't have been at it since WrestleMania, I wouldn't feel as exhausted. I'm sure
Right.
it's going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong. Just the just the build up to it and everything. It's just made me tired of it.
Well,
I'm ready for the feud to be over with.
I believe it's
And
supposed to be the last match. So
well, take it too though. You would think I'd be this way with the bloodline because it's been going on for how many years now?
right.
But
like 3.
it's felt different. It's progressed differently every step of the way, so it hasn't felt tiring and boring to me. Like I've already seen this before, you know?
Right.
It's
Now,
different.
there's one thing about the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns match I do want to bring up, and it's kind of controversial, but I just want to get y'all's opinion on it.
Yeah.
I feel almost, I'm not saying completely, but almost feel that they shouldn't have put Cody in this match.
You're not wrong.
They should have put Jay in this match.
No.
Yeah,
No,
maybe.
no,
Maybe.
just hear me out. Hear me out first. So, so imagine if it was Roman and Jay versus Solo and Jacob. They could have played the match out and they could have had the Tongans come out and interfere. Then, right when they're getting jumped by the Tongans, they could have Jimmy and Sammy come out and help.
Or
So hold on, time out. Why would Jimmy come out and help with Sammy whenever Jimmy's the one that's been out injured? That would make no sense. Jay's the one that's on Raw.
Because they're bringing Jimmy back. It's
Out
although
of
it's been
nowhere, being on good terms with Sammy on Raw.
well, honestly,
That's what. Okay, that's the reason why it would have made sense if they would have brought Jimmy back Friday night on this
yeah,
premiere
yeah,
of SmackDown to be the one to take the place of Cody because they had already said he's done with this whole bloodline thing for now. You could
right,
have left it right there, and then they'd be talking about who's going to help him out during this because he has no one. And maybe either have him come out then or have Roman get jumped, and then out of nowhere, here comes Jimmy in to
yeah,
save the.
that would have been good. You're right. Then, like going back to what I was saying before, that's when Jay and Sammy could come help.
Yeah, because Jay and Sammy were cool.
I,
At first they weren't, but then they were cool.
I think that they're going to have trust issues with the Roman.
Well, they're all going to. But that's the point, though.
But
OG bloodline versus Tamu bloodline. I think that's what they're going for.
until after we get through this tag match, and we get to the start of, or after this pay per view, and we get into War Games, that's whenever we'll get to that part of the story.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm saying they should have done it at Bad Blood, so they could build it up,
It's because of what?
so they could build the story up, not just.
Yeah. Instead of keeping it kind of like it's almost like it's not like it's not moving forward. It's just it's so slow. It seems like it's at a
But
standstill at the moment because they're, maybe it's just a creative thing they're trying to finish up so that they can really start pushing it forward. I'm willing to understand that, but this it's different for the CM Punk and Drew thing. It's the same thing. It hasn't been going on very long, but it's just tiring, I think. And the reason I'm excited for that Hell in the Cell match is because I honestly think that this will be the big one for them. I don't think they're going to get a WrestleMania between them. I think they want to try to
no,
save that for
that's
something a little
gonna.
more special.
It's gonna. The Hell in a Cell match is gonna be probably the last, at least for a while.
Yeah. Um,
But
and I also
yeah.
think that, I'm ready. I know it's coming soon, but I think towards the end of the year here soon, we're going to start seeing a little bit more of John Cena.
Well, I don't know
I
when
think it'll be interesting to see what kind of matches we get from him.
We won't see him till Rumble, I don't think.
I think we'll see him a little bit before Rumble, but not like a
Yeah.
lot before Rumble.
He said 2025 was his final year, right?
Yeah.
It's
So he's
whenever he
gonna be. He
starts
said he was gonna try to go to everything.
that's when he starts his final run. So at WrestleMania is whenever he's going to start, and it's going to run through until December.
Yeah, but he'll be on. No, he'll be on the show.
No, he said
He's
from
done
Royal
said that he's
Rumble.
gonna do the house shows and everything.
He said that he was gonna be there day one, like when Raw's
Yeah.
gonna come to Netflix.
Yeah.
Like he said that he'd be there. So I've got my thoughts for Rumble, and we can save that for another time. But I'm excited to see this pay per view. I'm kind of mad that I have a vacation to be on during it, and that we planned it and we didn't know that there was going to be a damn pay per view in Atlanta.
It's okay. I'm going to be at work.
So
I'm gonna be at work too. I'm pretty sure. What time is it supposed to be at?
It's probably at 8.
Oh man, and it's a Saturday, so for sure that Sunday I'll be working, so I'll have to be up early. I might be able to watch most of it.
All right, so are we good to go to the next topic?
We didn't even
I,
talk about
I want to
Yes,
bring up
ma'am.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mikey, you need to talk, son.
Yeah, talk, brother.
Did anyone else see it on Friday Night SmackDown?
Oh, what?
Did anybody see it?
See what?
according
Yeah.
to what
The
you're
Wyatt Six logo.
Oh no,
So-
I didn't actually.
The
But,
Wyatt Six logo was spotted during Friday Night SmackDown recently.
Oh.
Okay. Say it
Huh.
one more time because I still didn't hear what you said.
Oh, okay, I got you. The Wyatt Six logo was spotted on
Yeah.
Friday Night SmackDown recently.
Yes, I seen it. It was during what's his name? The GM right now,
Yep.
Oh,
Nick Aldis.
yeah,
or Nick Aldis, right?
yeah, Nick.
It was
So
then.
there's been a couple of theories about why it's been seen, but of course the biggest theories that have come out are who would the Wyatt Six on SmackDown target? I think there's officially a few answers here, but who knows? It could have just been a small little thing for us, the fans,
Yeah.
or there's something bigger at play. Of course, the common thought is, oh, are they going to do something against the bloodline? Fractured family? Would they? Maybe. Maybe. But I guess
What's
we'll see. But I saw recently that it had been spotted on Friday Night SmackDown. I thought that was really cool. And if nobody else was going to say anything about it, I certainly wanted to.
Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing. How about the pyro being brought back for the opening?
I mean, that's always
That
good.
was pretty cool.
Pyro's
Dude,
always good.
dude, when me and David saw that, we literally freaked out like little kids because we were like, "Holy crap! They finally brought the intro with the pyro back." And it was just a big nostalgic moment for us because, growing up WCW, original WWF, before it was WWE, they always had pyro leading up into their show. And when they got rid of that,
They had pyro in WWE up until like 2010.
yeah. Well, I didn't say that, but yeah, but they stopped at a certain point, and it was just kind of like, why,
Yeah.
I'm really glad they found a way to do it. I really do like the new logo.
Yeah.
Even though there's been some people saying that it looks stupid, and I'm like, whatever. Who cares? It's the new logo. That shouldn't be anything you really stress over. You should be stressing over the quality of the content from the show. So I really like it. I guess we're ready to move on to the next topic if no one else has got anything to say.
quick? Let's get back to the pay per view because we swerved into Friday Night SmackDown. Off of the matches that we know, who we think's winning where?
Um, I definitely think. I mean, when it comes to the Priest and the Finn match, I think that Finn will probably win because of interference or some point, unless it's in a Hell in a Cell. I don't know,
It won't be.
but I think it'll be a good match. But I think it'll be interference. But if not, Priest will win. And I hate to say that because Finn Balor is arguably one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I do wish he could bring the Demon back for this, but it's not a good moment at
Yeah.
the moment. What else? Of course, I think Rhea's gonna beat Liv unless Dom interferes. But I really hope they get that belt off of her. Um,
I would love to see Andrade win.
yeah, that'd be cool. I mean,
I'm with that.
honestly, I haven't really seen much of LA Knight since he won the belt.
I
I
didn't
think
think.
there's.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna say with the LA Knight thing, I think they're trying to see the next step for him because, I mean, he's not as young. He's not like as young as most people probably think he is. So he's probably inclined to do a little less, but he doesn't. He does a lot. Like he works, he goes and does his thing every day that he's got to be there, and he's a really good professional wrestler. But I think that he probably will hold that title. I think it would be cool to see Andrade to win. But I'm just really glad. I think we can all be really glad that Carmelo Hayes is not going to be fighting for that title.
I also thought that he was going to.
Boy, I'm so glad he's not. I
Why?
was really hoping he wouldn't. Because don't get me wrong, he's a good wrestler and everything. It's just I cannot stand his persona. Ugh.
Well, he's a heel. That's his whole shtick.
It's a
That's the
but
point,
it's just
Caleb.
it's
That's the point.
I don't really like his persona that much.
That's the
I
I
point.
guess we could say he's doing his job then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing his job. That's his whole
But
shtick.
I don't see someone also. Let's put it this way: Braun Breaker, absolutely for the beast he is and the freaking shows he puts on when he's in the ring. For me, even as a newcomer, I was like, yeah, he deserves to win that Intercontinental title. Um, Carmelo Hayes, I don't think he's there yet. I just don't think he's there yet. Even if I did like him as a heel, I don't think he's ready for a title
The,
just
the
yet.
the thing the thing with Carmelo Hayes that I'm afraid about is that they move him away from NXT where he was the top tier guy there, and
Yeah.
now he's not really done anything.
It's
Well, you also know me; I'm a Trick Williams guy. So
okay. I'll say this, and this is something that, heaven forbid, according to what sport it is, you have to. But whenever it comes to wrestling and whenever it comes to Triple H and WWE, trust the process.
Right. I'm with you.
Knows what he's doing with these guys and gals and who he has in there. Trust the process. I believe he will eventually get a belt. It's just not the right moment yet.
yeah, that it's just I don't think it's his time. I feel like I mean, it's like I said, it's not the heel part that I have an issue with. It's just I feel like his persona is just a little. Like I don't
I
really
get
care
you.
for
I
it that
get you.
much.
I
I
get
feel
you.
like he could do. I feel like he could change some things about it, and it would end up probably working a lot better for me. But I mean, he gets a reaction though. That's what the big thing is as a wrestler is that you get that reaction, regardless if it's a good or a bad pop. You still go out there and you got to try to get the crowd to really uh vibrate on the same level as you. You know.
And we got to cover one more match, which is the Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I thought we had already talked about Hell in a Cell
Well, I'm
enough.
just I just think I think that'll end. I mean, I think it could go either way. That's all I could really say. I'd like to see CM Punk win it, but I think it can go either way.
Yeah, I
I
feel the same way.
think this one will end up being Drew's. Punk had the strap match and he hasn't lost one of them in ages. The Hell in a Cell will be Drew's.
I guess we'll have to see. All right, on to
I
yeah, Caleb.
really, really want Punk to win this match, but I can also see them going in the direction of Drew winning his first Hell in the Cell.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I want Drew to lose, not just because I want Punk to win, because that'd be a great ending for the storyline to be over. Really and honestly, I want it to happen to Drew because I want him to take a hiatus for a bit and come back to Broken Dreams and just a whole more just a different version of himself than the guy that's running around, blaming Punk for this, blaming Punk for that. He did this. I want to see badass Drew again, just more quiet, but and more
I'm.
focused.
I have to bring this up, Caleb, and you're gonna
Mhm.
hate me for saying this. As a fan of
Lord.
as a super fan of Broken Dreams,
Yeah,
we're never gonna see it again.
I think that's stupid because he's been pitching for that.
The thing is, he's been pitching for that since COVID year, like since way before COVID year.
Yeah.
When he won the Royal Rumble in 2020, he's been pitching it for ages. Now we've seen it since then. I think at Clash of the Castle they had like a little thing, but we're not gonna get a full on Broken Dreams anymore. If they,
Uh, I
I,
think they'd be stupid not to do it because people want that shit bad, and I don't blame them. I mean, do you really? Would you? I mean, and now I see where you're coming from, but I will say this: you never know what they're cooking because they have been cooking a lot lately. Very, very, very excellent dishes for us to enjoy.
the thing is like
They could very well. What I'm saying is I think that they could very well be putting that in like a back burner, saying wait it out. There'll be there's a time and a place for everything. There really is. So if there's a time and a place for everything, eventually we very much could see a small return of him coming back to Broken Dreams, and I think the crowd pop for that would justify them continuing to do it for a little bit.
my thing is if he was gonna do it, he would have done it at Mania. And if they're going to ever do it again, it'll be at a Mania, but as a one-off thing. I don't think he'll be like a full-time Broken Dreams character anymore. And I hate to say that. Like I said, I love that song. It's one of my favorite wrestling theme songs of all time. I just I'm just trying not to get my hopes up, I guess you could say, and just trying to be
Well,
realistic about it.
yeah, well, obviously I
Right.
get that. I'm not saying that I expect him to do it, and it happened, but I hope that it does. I definitely hope, and that's the only reason I hope he loses the Hell in the Cell match is because that could very well open the doorway to him doing that, and I feel like that would be very interesting, and I feel like people would be more compelled to watch him than they are now with the whole CM Punk drama. Because once the CM Punk drama is over, there's not a whole lot that I can see Drew going for right off the rip.
Oh, I
Uh,
definitely see something.
I do.
they have to build something, and that's why
They
I think losing Hell in
already
a Cell would be
are.
a thing.
Him versus Gunther?
No, not even
I
that.
mean, great match and everything, but like,
Not even that. It's him versus what's his face? Wade
That
Barrett.
Oh no,
yeah, well, also
duh,
that.
duh,
So I
yeah.
mean, I think we might see. You never know. We might see a little Wade Barrett action in Bad
Okay.
Blood.
All right. The last thing I want to talk about with wrestling, and then we need to move on because we've been on this topic for a hot minute now. It feels like. What happened to good old Baron Corbin?
He's in NXT, is he not?
I haven't seen him on NXT.
He's not been around a lot, but he's been
No,
mainly on
they
NXT lately.
roster, I believe.
They what?
They moved him back up to the main roster, I think.
Not check.
Let's all pour one out for Ricky, everybody. Forgot to mention him. Poor Ricky. Rest in peace. 2024 to 2024.
Anyway, all right.
All right, so on to the next topic, and with the new trailer that just came out this last week, we are going to talk about Venom: The Last Dance. They're saying it's going to be the last one, the last Venom movie. Probably it could be his last solo film. Um, but there was a big thing in the trailer that the main topic we're really going to talk about this week. Well, not this week, but in this segment, and that's Null.
Yes.
They showed Null in the trailer.
And to know who's playing him.
Yep, Norman Reedus is playing
Mm.
Null.
Is it actually confirmed?
Yep.
Yes, it's confirmed today.
But I haven't seen anything about it actually being confirmed.
No,
Yeah, I saw it while I was at work right before all like the tower was having issues. I was having issues today afterwards, but I did get to see that.
So, who all here definitely knows who Null is?
he's the king. He's the king of symbiotes. He's the
Yeah.
creator. He was around when the Celestials was around, and he
And
carried
he
them.
is stupid dangerous. Like beyond multi-dimensional godlike dangerous.
He is the creator of the.
Correct.
He's the creator of the symbiotes
And the Necro Sword.
and the
Yep.
Necro Sword.
Make sure you say that very clearly.
Neck row.
And
That is just
and honestly, think about it. We've already seen the Necro Sword in the MCU
yes, we have.
because that's the sword that Gore the God Butcher was carrying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the topic, the thing that I really want to talk about. What do you think about this Venom movie carrying into Spider-Man 4? And here's my big thing that I believe is happening. So, Spider-Man,
Yeah, I think I need
so
to say.
so Spider-Man 4, right? I've heard that they haven't officially started filming, but I've also seen that like there's a possibility that they've been doing something. Um, Venom: The Last Dance, before the last trailer came out, they had some reshoots in New York City. Apparently, Tom Holland and a few Marvel executives have been in New York City filming something secret.
Mm.
And like he officially, like even Tom Holland posted a picture of himself like in a dressing room, or whatever. There, you can't see anything other than like the face makeup or the face product that he's wearing. But I think there's a possibility that there's an after credit scene that's going to lead into Spider-Man 4 because they've said that Spider-Man 4 will be a multiversal movie. So that's my thought with that.
Give me Black Suit Spider-Man. This is not a
Yeah,
request.
yeah. I was actually going
I
to
am
say
holding you
that
at
the
gunpoint.
direction,
Give it. Gimme.
the direction I think that they're going possibly with it is, I'm telling y'all now, at the very end of it, Eddie's going to die. I think that's how it's going to end.
So,
And it's going to be Venom. I think the after credit scene's probably going to be Venom. Like you don't see his face or anything. You see just the symbiote moving around, and he's in, looking over New York City and looking in, around, and you see Spider-Man or a silhouette like swinging through. I think that could be how they go with it. But honestly, I really think that Eddie's probably going to die in this one.
okay, so real quick, I just want to I want to mention this. Null is most present in the King in Black comics, and in the King in Black comics, or at least Venom's run of it, Eddie does die. Spoilers if anybody reading those comics. But it's also very odd. It's like yes and no. Because it's like he dies, but he and Venom were so connected on like a molecular level that he kind of like lives on in Venom. It gets really complicated. But with knowing that small tidbit about the comic run itself, at least Venom's specific King and Black run, yeah, Eddie does die, but Eddie also has a son in the comics, which I'm sure you can guess takes up the Lethal Protector's mantle.
And this Eddie does have a son, for what we know. So,
Not to our knowledge.
Ridge, you got any things you think is going to happen in this movie?
I got a lot, in fact. I was going to let y'all talk about what y'all thought until I got to have my good little spew about it. So, what I'm thinking, obviously, we're going to have a great movie about these different symbiotes that are coming to try to get Venom. They don't want Eddie, they just want Venom, and they are dead set on trying to get him back to Null because the whole thing is that Null wants him for a certain reason. And if I had to guess, that certain reason either A has to do with his abilities of time travel, or not time traveling, but multiversal travel, or has to do with making a whole new sword for himself because his sword uh, got taken away from him somehow or something. And that's the reason why we are seeing the sword, but we haven't seen him yet. So I think that's kind of the way it's looking to go, but I don't think Eddie's going to die. I think what's going to happen is because we hear it in the trailer, we'll be with you till the end. So what's going to happen, I think, because he knows how to multiverse travel, we will see them in the end think that they're going to be able to escape from Null by jumping into another multiverse, and the one that they hop into is the 616 because they've already been there before. Uh, and I think that maybe it'll lead into Spider-Man 4. Maybe. It's going to be hard because, that's a big bad in and of himself right there, Null.
Yeah.
Versus,
This is technically
right,
this is technically like the MCU's or the Sony versus Thanos technically.
pretty much. I mean, this is a very large villain. So to just go ahead and throw him into Spider-Man 4 to have him get defeated kind of feels off to me. I don't think, kind of like how I think that Carnage needed to be killed off so soon. I don't I think it needs to be held off. Now they could defeat him because if I'm not mistaken, Mikey, check me if I'm wrong, but he
Okay.
does get defeated, like he dies, but comes back in the comics. So
Yeah. I look. I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to killing symbiotes, the comics get kind of complicated.
right. So there is a chance that they could quote unquote kill him, but still have him be set up for a bigger movie, like how they were originally trying to set up Madam Web to lead into Spider Geddon. This could be the way to do it now. Is to have Null being introduced and being this big bad that they think they end up defeating at some point, but really they didn't. They just off him for a little bit, enough to get through, Secret Wars and get into the next Spider-Man movie. Because I think that will take a little bit of time. And who knows, maybe the next Spider-Man movie that we see Null in is the next Amazing Spider-Man movie. Because I think, to me, my whole idea with what's going on in the Sony verse, all these villains that we're seeing and everything, is while Andrew Garfield is young. The Amazing Spider-Man, that Peter Parker is young. I think he hasn't had enough time to grow into a teenager and get his powers yet. So I think that that's what's happening right now. That to me, that would be the smart move and be an explainer as to why we haven't seen a Spider-Man in Sony Spider-Verse yet, or since the last Amazing Spider-Man movie. I think that that would be kind of a easier way to explain it, I guess. I don't know. Um, Also, the last thing I'm going to mention about it is that I think it's going to be very interesting once we do get, because I don't think that's going to be in Spider Man 4. It might be at the end credits of Spider Man 4, but whenever Tom Holland Spider Man gets the symbiote suit, because we got to have it for Secret Wars, because that's comic book accurate, and that's the way that they're trying to play into it. I think. Uh, will that eventually lead into? Will we still see Tobey Maguire want to stick around to help Spider-Man out because he's been in that suit before? So will that lead into the fifth?
I mean, they pretty much already said that that Tobey Maguire is going to be in Secret Wars.
Right. So he'll see that suit again, though, and he'll know exactly what's going on. So will he want to stick around to try to help out Tom Holland Spider
It,
Man because he's been in that spot already?
Right.
I mean, it won't look the Venom himself won't look as that Toby face won't look as badass as this Venom, but you know,
Right.
it'll still make sense that he'll be like, I've seen this suit before on myself, and it didn't lead to nothing but trouble for me. You don't need this.
Hmm.
So will he try to maybe stick around, or will he be able to, or will that just be something that he has to see as his last remembrance of this Spider?
I'm sure that he'll do something because, like you said, he's been through it himself, and plus, Spider-Man with the black suit is going to be a villain, technically, because even in the comic books, Spider-Man with the black suit was a villain.
Right. And
So,
also, last thing, I was thinking about it whenever y'all talked about the possibility of Eddie dying because of it. Mikey, how far have you gotten into Spider-Man 2?
no, he's beat it.
oh,
You,
Spider-Man 2? I've beat it.
okay, so you've seen where that Peter Parker was dead pretty much, but Venom brought him back.
Yeah.
Same thing could happen in
Yeah.
this.
I agree with you.
If it's quote unquote he dies before they end up traveling to the 616, that could be why, or how they managed to keep Eddie alive and take him on into the 616 too. Because I think that you still have to have Eddie there to eventually get the suit back. So that way we can eventually have the Spider-Man versus Venom.
Yeah, I get you. All right, so since we're on the topic of Sony Spider-Man movies or Sony movies in general, we're gonna rank the Sonyverse. Um, let's go ahead and let's go from the back because we got to get the doopies out of the way first. Um, first of all, I think we're all going to say this: Madam Web trash. So the tier list is amazing, good, mid, bad, and trash. Madam Web's going to trash. I don't think anybody says different.
Yeah, it's
That
trash.
movie could have had potential if they had done Madam Web by the comic books. Instead, they did that.
I'm gonna say something bad.
Go ahead.
It
Okay.
could have went from trash to bad movie if they would have just showed more tits.
Showed more tits.
Show more tits. It would have been a bad movie, not a trash movie, but it still wouldn't have been good.
Hey, Cindy Sweeney was in the movie, so I agree.
I'm not even talking.
I had to say
I
that.
I still don't understand the hype.
You know, God bless you, but that's crazy. Um,
I,
so now this one we're not. I guess we can't really rank, but I guess we can rank it on what we hope it'll be. Craven. I'm hoping it's at least good.
Mm,
I'm not saying it's going to be an S tier, but I think it's going to
I
be
mean,
good.
yeah, I want it to be good. I really want it to be good, mainly because I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all Sonyverse movies that haven't been Spider-Man have really fallen short.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I don't want to rate it, but I'm gonna say, at best it's good or a step above mid because I'd hate to see Aaron Taylor Johnson be in a mid movie.
Yeah. I want it to be good, and I just hope it doesn't go below mid. Caleb, what do you think?
I don't really have an opinion on it.
You don't hope it to be good. You don't hope it to be mid or bad or
I think expectations. I think I want it to do good, but I'm not gonna get my expectations high just because we have been disappointed pretty good in the past.
yeah.
So I just want to keep my expectations realistic on that end.
All right, Ridge.
I hate to say it. I'd love to see it be good, but I think it's going to be mid.
Yeah,
Just
I think t-
knowing somebody's track record is, I just think it's be mid.
I think to be fair, we'll just put it in mid, just in good hopes.
Can I say something real quick too on
Yeah,
this?
go ahead.
It'll be as long as our Venom talk that I just had. Uh, I think that if it ends up being mid or doesn't get a lot of great reviews, then we need to, or I think everybody should start doing what we did with the DCU or DCEU and stop watching the movies, and eventually they might fix it.
Maybe, but I don't think that's. I don't
So what
think.
I'm hearing is bully the producers.
So what I'm hearing is Sonic the Hedgehog them.
Boy, same thing that we're done to DCEU, and the same thing we're doing with, or I'm doing with Star Wars, and just quit watching them until they start making better shit
Yeah.
or smarter decisions.
All right. So this next one, I'm gonna say is a little controversial. Um, I put Morbius at mid.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't think
Morbin time.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. But the thing
Morb.
is if they would have made the movie longer and they explained it more, and just because to me the main bad thing of that movie is they rushed the ever living hell out of that movie. Like when I watched it, it was like I blinked and half the movie was over, and I was like, "What? What'd I miss?" But
Everything, apparently.
that's all I got to say about Morbius. I think it's mid.
I would also rate it mid.
Mid.
Ridge, what do you think? I know you're probably gonna say bad.
it was it was bad. It was a poor story that they went with. It just did not flow well at all. It was bad.
I put it at mid, but I'm sure we're gonna have at least something go over it. Maybe. But I just put it above Craven, just because we haven't seen Craven. So, but it's low mid. Okay, so the next one, I think it should be at least somewhat unanimous. Venom, the first Venom movie. Um,
Ooh.
I personally think it's amazing
Yeah.
because
Very good movie.
I thought that was the Venom that we all wanted to see. Yeah, we all wish it could have been a little bit more gorier, but I'm not gonna complain too much. I think, in my personal opinion, I put amazing. Mikey, what do you think?
It's peak.
Uh,
I don't know which one, which rating's the best rating again? That one.
amazing. All right,
Yes, that one.
Caleb.
Yeah, I'm gonna say amazing. It was definitely everything everybody wanted. Obviously, a little more gore would have been great, but um, it's okay because they still, it still made a lot of money because it was a very, very good film. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say it was an amazing movie.
Ridge.
Goodness, I'm the controversial one, aren't I? It was a good
You
movie.
usually are.
Uh, Now I say it's a good movie. First time I watched it, it was amazing. But I've seen it more than once, and just after you see it more than one time, you realize it's a good, solid movie, but it ain't amazing.
I can understand
Uh,
that.
I think what kills it for me is the villain.
Yeah, I can
The
agree with that.
like he,
I can agree that dude in Riot being the first villain was kind of odd.
the dude annoys me too. His
Yeah,
character, I don't know if it's his character or just how he portrayed the character. It annoyed me.
I put it at low tier amazing. All right, so the next one is Venom Let There Be Carnage. I think this movie is good. I don't think it was as good as it could have been, and I don't think it's as good as the first one. Yeah, seeing Carnage was cool and everything, but to me, I don't think there's anything that could justify that it was better than the first one. I mean, besides Carnage being the villain and Scream being a part of it, I didn't like it better than the first one. Mikey, what do you think?
Understand now that they're trying to build up something with the with Venom. Like I understand now they're trying to build something to something larger. At the time, I was very disappointed with the notion that Carnage was defeated so quickly and so easily because Carnage is a menace. I also, as much as I like Woody Harrelson, was not a real fan of was not a real fan
Yeah,
of the way that Cletus Cassidy was portrayed. Um, Not saying that Woody did a bad job. Maybe it was a bad script. But Cletus Cassidy is supposed to be absolutely remorseless and ruthless. And there were moments when he just kind of came off as an insane crybaby.
yeah.
But other than that, like, I mean, at the time when I watched the movie, I thought it was really cool. I feel like in a lot of ways, maybe Carnage was undersold just as a villain. Like I said, I understand now they're going with something larger, but I mean, at the time that I watched it, the movie was good. If I had to rank it now, I'd say it was okay, like lower okay.
Okay, Caleb.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a really, really good movie. It ended up just being a decent movie. I I agree. They could have wrote a better script for Cletus because that's kind of. I mean, they had kind of a vision how they wanted Cletus to be, and that's kind of how he turned out. It just wasn't. It wasn't convincing like how the story really goes with him. Um, and it was cool to see Carnage, but it was also so short lived that it was just like, dang, that really sucks because it was just. It's kind of like they were letting us know, hey, this is not going to go on very long. This Venom is probably just a trilogy, and we're just going to get everything over with quick. So I'm going to have to say it's just a good movie.
No, Ridge.
Is okay a ranking?
That's amazing, good, mid. But if you say okay, I'll say low tier, good.
Okay, it was okay. There was some positives, but a lot of negatives for me.
Yeah.
One of them was how quickly they did kill Cassidy off, or Carnage, whatever you want to say. They killed him off too quick. Now I get it. You're wanting to do Null, and I'm appreciative of getting Null. But at the same time, if we wanted to go down the route of having Carnage and eventually build to Null, then you gotta have more than 3 movies that you're willing to make over this. Because Carnage shouldn't have died off of one movie. And then us hop into Null all of a sudden. And us only get technically one Venom movie of with Null in it. It should be we have a good build up with Carnage, and then eventually turn around later on and have a really bigger build up with Null, because we could have had a great little actual Venom verse, if you will, of just great Venom movies if they built it up right, if they wrote it right. We could have had something really great. Now, like I said, I'm appreciative of where we're at. But at the same time, with Sony's track record, I'm still slightly iffy on it.
No, I agree. All right, so I got Venom, Let There Be Carnage, low tier, good. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty, the good stuff, in my personal opinion. Um, we're starting off with the Spider Verse movies. So starting off with Into the Spider Verse. I'm not gonna say much because we fucking know that's top tier, amazing. Mikey
Amazing, without a doubt. I love those movies.
and Caleb.
Love it. At the same time, so upset about how much delays have been going on with it, and
Right now we're just talking about Into the Spider Verse.
yeah.
Like we're
Oh,
just
just
ranking.
into the Spider
We're
Verse.
ranking the movies one by one.
Movie,
So
oh yeah, the movie top
into
tier. I know, that's where I'm going with that. I'd say it's a top tier movie.
Caleb, Ridge. Sorry.
No, you're good. So it's first off, it's an amazing movie. Second off, why can't y'all make live actions as good as y'all can animated?
Facts.
For one. For two, if you are so good at making animated, why not just go to sticking to animated? And also, another company that has this same ordeal going on, it seemed like, there for a while at least I know, was Lucasfilm and Star Wars.
So I mean, Into the Spider Verse. We all knew that was going to be amazing, and I think we're going to stick on the topic of this next one, Spider-Man Across the Spider Verse. Just as good. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I still think it's just as good. It's amazing. Mikey, go ahead.
Go higher. It's not just amazing. It was ultimate.
Caleb.
Anybody
Oh,
who
sorry.
played the Spider-Man games got that.
Yeah, we got you.
Anyway.
Caleb.
So, fantastic movie. It's definitely regardless of my one grievance about the movie, I'm still going to rank it as an awesome movie. And my one grievance about it is that the cutoff point was where it was when it stopped. I know, because you remember we were sitting in the theater, and I looked over you like, "What?" It had to stop right there. It was such a good moment at the ending of it that I was upset that it was over and didn't realize that we had sat through almost 2 hours of a movie.
Yeah, I definitely need them to release the other part like right fucking now.
Yeah, like right now, dude, because I have been craving it. I've been waiting for how this is going to go because of how great of an ending. I don't, obviously, if you haven't seen the movie before, spoiler alert, you know,
It's good.
the ending to this movie is just insanely good. Seeing Miles as the Prowler,
Yeah, that was fire.
and just like the whole confrontation with himself in that universe is just wild. So, uh, it's awesome. I'm gonna label it awesome, even though that was my one grievance.
And Ridge, what do you think?
I thought it was an amazing movie. Listen, this is the reason why, even for me, that was an amazing movie. Is because finally, in some movie adaptation, we get to see my favorite Spider-Man character. Believe it or not, Spider-Man 2099.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miguel O'Hara.
Even though he's a villain, sure, I don't care. Give me him however you can possibly put him on a platter for me to enjoy in a movie. That's what made it amazing for me. And I hope one day, and I hope it ain't an Amazon Prime TV show or whatever, and I hope it's not an Apple TV show. I hope it's a movie. Sony, listen to me. Make it a movie and make it a damn good one. But make a live action Spider-Man 2099 movie. Make sure it's actually good.
And it needs to be his backstory of screwing up and destroying the universe that
I don't
he
care what
inhabited.
the movie is. Just give me a damn good story. One. And for two, make sure that it's actually a Hispanic character playing as it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while we're on the topic of Miles Morales, I'm gonna tell you something that I told Mikey earlier. I saw on Twitter. It's being rumored that Caleb McLaughlin is reportedly looking at being cast in Spider-Man 4. It doesn't say who as, but if you really think about it, you know who.
Who else would it be?
And if you don't know who Caleb McLaughlin is, everybody, Caleb McLaughlin is Lucas in Stranger Things. So I think I've been saying for years that I think he would be a great Miles Morales. I hope that's him. I'm honest. I honestly really do. I know we'll all talk. We'll touch up on it whenever it gets announced or whoever gets announced. But I just had to put that out there. All right, now we're getting into the live action Spider-Man movies, and we're going to start off with Tom Holland.
Hmm.
All right.
That's
Uh,
conflicting, is it not?
I'm going in the order that they have these movies put up, dude.
uh,
Saying it's conflicting because
You know what? I'll get you. Let me reorder these real quick.
MCU.
I got.
Sure, Sony was the one to put it out, or it has their name attached to it, but it's MCU Spider-Man, not Sony Spider-Man.
It's still. I know, but they got him on this list, and especially with No Way Home, we do have to mention it.
Oh, Lord.
And I reordered these so we can do it from Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to Tom Holland's because that'd probably be easier. All right, controversial. Well, probably not controversial, but in my personal take, Spider-Man 1 is definitely amazing. The original Spider-Man movie is arguably the best one of the trilogy in my personal opinion. I like it more than the second one, even though the second one is arguably the greatest comic book movie of all time. I still think Spider-Man with Green Goblin is undefeated. That shit never gets old. I quote it to
yeah.
this day. It's so dark. It's so grungy. Especially that final fight. I just fucking love it. I have to go amazing. Mikey?
This movie defined me as a person. I say the quote. It changed my brain chemistry a lot. This one really did. I really feel like it did.
Caleb?
I
Oh, sorry.
don't know. There's not other words for it. It's amazing.
Caleb?
Oh yeah, so you guys already know my feelings on this. It's Toby's Spider-Man trilogy is my favorite Spider-Man. We grew up with it. I mean, that was what we watched. The very first Spider-Man was one I think we watched the most actually. And I think we watched it mostly because it had Macho Man Randy Savage in it. It had what's his name? Ash versus Evil Dead. I
Bruce
mean,
Campbell?
yeah, Bruce
Bruce
Campbell.
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell's in it. You had Stan Lee, and you had all this, and you had Willem Dafoe, and it was great. So I have to, if we're going into trilogy, you might as well just label all of that for me as amazing because that's my favorite version of Spider-Man.
Bro, just the scene when they're fighting at the end of it and you can see Willem Dafoe's eyes under the eyes and
Yeah,
the whole part of the Mary Jane and I, we're gonna have a hell of a time.
yeah, I
Shing!
know.
Like fire. Ridge.
Yeah, and you could see
Oh,
him
sorry.
like you remember when you could see him like really acting underneath it, and he's like, "I'm gonna finish her, nice and slow," and you could just see it, and like
Yeah,
he
that
was like
was oh
into
my
that
god.
character.
Ridge, what do you think?
Oh man. See, a lot of kids grow up on certain heroes, all right? And the first hero I ever grew up on was Spider Man. I remember my dad carrying me out of that movie, and I was sitting there acting like I could fling webs out of my wrists after that. I can tell you how many times after that we'd be at one of my brother's little league baseball games, and I'd just be acting like I could do it in front of people, just because that's how much I loved him. I mean, I still love that character. And if you end up ever fully killing off Spider Man, believe you me, I'm gonna weep harder than I did watching Iron Man die.
Yep.
Uh, so to me, that's always gonna be an amazing movie. Just the first one being what it was for me, it always will hold a special place in my heart.
Now, would y'all put it over the Spider Verse movies? Just that's a real question. Would you put it over the Spider Verse movies?
Yeah, easily.
I
Yeah,
would.
I would.
I just
I
want to.
would.
I just had to ask before I did it. I didn't want to do it, and y'all been like, ah!
It's what I grew up on. Are you kidding me?
Look,
For me to
look.
tell you what?
I'm gonna say something that might get some fans pissed off, and y'all can suck my ass on this. Um, yeah, Batman's iconic, but the greatest superhero of all time is Spider-Man. Fight me. To me, there's nothing that can change my mind. Not even Superman. Spider-Man is the greatest superhero of all time, in my personal opinion. All right, so Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock. I think it's just as amazing. Yes, I said I
Yes.
do prefer the original or the first one more. That's just because just me. But the second one is and arguably is the greatest comic book movie of all time because we see the doubt in him losing his power, then getting it back, and the the power of the sun in the palm of my hands. Just
Yes.
perfect. I'm gonna put it at amazing. Do you want me to put it above the first one or beside it? Because I'm sure we're all gonna say
I
amazing. I'm just
I mean,
put it
you know
beside it.
mine. I already said that each might as well label all of this trilogy for me as amazing.
now
I
before we
think they
do before we do
well
that. What say? Go ahead, Rich.
put those two right beside each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. The third one,
People.
The third one, I will say the third one is amazing. Now that I watch it, but there is parts about it that kind of dulls it down. I'm still gonna put it in amazing. Like in my personal belief, I'd still put it in amazing because it's better than I thought it was. Like remembered, but I don't think it's better than the Spider Verse movies. Ridge, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry for cutting you off, dude.
No, you didn't cut me off. I was just saying the second one to me is more so my favorite than the first one, but to me they're just as equal to each other because they are both just great movies for me.
Yeah,
Now the third one, I'm gonna say it was good. I'm not gonna say it was amazing because it there was only a couple of things here and there that I enjoyed with the third one. Like I enjoyed the Sandman story
yeah,
more than I did any of the rest of it.
I did too.
And the whole Venom was going back and watching it now. That Venom is just a cringe.
It definitely is, and I hate that they did that to Topher Grace, and that's what people really know, remember him by instead of being Eric in that '70s show. But I really hated that for him because I love the actor. I just think that Venom looks so bad, dude.
Man, I love the church meme though.
Oh man,
I love the church meme though. I love that shit so much. Me praying on the downfall of my ops.
I will say that church scene is fire, though. That church scene is fire. I'm not gonna lie, it really is.
Oh.
Amazing about the movie was or going back and watching Tobey Maguire have to do the dance
Ugh,
That's the
God,
worst
that's
part
why
of
I
the
was not
movie.
talking
That's
about
the
this.
worst part of the movie.
on the
Yeah.
steps. That's the only dance I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the dance he had with Blondie. I'm just talking about the dance on him dancing on the steps. That's the
Oh, Bully
No,
McGuire.
no,
only.
that part, yes, I hate that part too. But the dance that he does with Gwen in the bar to piss off Mary Jane, I fucking hated that scene. Even as a kid, I was sitting in the movie theater like, what the hell is this? Like, I fucking hated that scene. I can't. That's the.
No one. Child Jordan. Gigi boo,
The
Caleb.
last thing I want to say about this whole trilogy right here, though, to me, my favorite thing about the trilogy as a whole was how we saw people, like how we seen Spider-Man get his powers, or how the villains got their powers. That to me was always cool to see,
Yeah,
especially Sandman's.
yeah, that was cool. So, Mikey, where would you rate Spider-Man 3? What would you rate it?
Amazing, but below the other two.
And like I said, I put the Spider-Verse movies over this one, just to be, be for real with it. Um, Caleb, what do you think?
So I'm gonna say it's amazing, but below the other two, and for one big reason:
What's that?
they didn't introduce Black Cat.
Well, she wasn't even teased in that movie.
Yeah, but they should have had her. That would have saved it, I think.
We're getting.
Caleb's like, it's not better than the other ones
Hey,
because I'm a sim.
hey, we're getting there, dog. All right. All right. So,
Sorry.
so now we're getting to the amazing. So I put it in amazing, but I put it under, of course, the first two movies in the Spider-Verse movies. Are y'all cool with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Okay. All right. So then now we're into the Amazing Spider-Man. I want to say amazing, but I think I'm gonna put it a good high plus, like good, like a good plus, a high good. That's all I really have to say. I think it's great. There's some parts in it that I'm like, about, but I think it's a great movie. Ridge, what do you think?
It's a really good movie. I to me, what stands out with that movie so well was the shots of him swinging.
Oh, we ain't even to the best swinging yet, dog. We ain't even to the best swinging. But you're right.
Like,
You're right though.
That's in Spider-Man
Now,
I remember the first time I
2
went to
again.
watch it, or first attempt of me going to watch it, the power went out in the theater I was at, so I couldn't watch it that day.
Oh,
I
that
had to
sucks.
go back a little bit later on to catch it, but yeah.
dude, the scenes where they got the crane operators lined up all the cranes so he could swing to Oscorp Tower. Oh, that scene was nuts.
Okay, well, yeah, that was kind of nuts. It kind of also doesn't make sense because they're not buildings right there that he could swing on.
All right, I get you, but I still thought it was a cool part.
Well, yeah, it's cool, but you kind of downplayed it because it's not like he was across the way of some water or something.
Right.
No, he had buildings right there at his disposal that he could have as easily swung from.
All right, just to pick up a little bit, Caleb, what's yours?
Uh, I'm gonna say good. I don't really have much of a deep take on it.
Mikey.
I'm gonna say it's good because I have a of 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 Andrew's movies. I have a favorite.
And that's what we're fucking getting into, because that's what I'm gonna fucking say, and y'all can kiss my ass. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is amazing.
Yes,
It was.
Chasm
I liked.
2,
It was the
baby.
only. It was the only one that I liked, but because it actually broke my heart in a way.
The best Spider-Man suit ever invented.
It looked really good.
The best swinging,
It did
the
it.
best
I've
swinging we've
always
ever
said it, and I'm
seen.
always gonna say it. I feel like he was a really great Spider-Man, not the greatest Peter.
Exactly.
That
But
was literally it.
the greatest swinging we've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
The soundtrack was off the walls. The transformation scene for Electro to me was fire, still to this day. The sound,
Oh, that shit is so tight, bro.
and people can talk shit about Electro all they want, but I thought he was fire. And the whole scene
Yo,
where,
that was a good Electro. I don't want to hear nothing.
and the scene where Spider-Man hits him with the water hose and he's wearing the fireman's hat, love that shot. Ridge, what do you think?
Goodness. Man, my biased ass has to bring down the party, doesn't it?
I know,
Thought it was
I knew he was gonna be low, but
thought it was a
I
good
guess
movie.
like you ain't gotta love it.
no.
I'd like it better if you did.
Don't get me wrong, was I kind of interested on what was going to happen there at the very end with fucking Rhino? Kind of. Because, of course, I want to see what's going to happen right there. But the Rhino suit itself would just throw me off. I'm
Yeah,
here
that was
for it.
ass. That was ass. I will admit that.
To me, while I understand the hype behind the Electro, it wasn't it for me neither, G. We'll get to that one eventually, I guess, because we're going to get into the Tom Holland stuff.
Now hold on. Now that I think about it more, Mikey, we have to think about this.
Okay.
Shitty Rhino. Love you, Paul Giamatti,
Mm,
but shitty Rhino.
yeah, it wasn't a very good Rhino.
And I
I
love
agree.
yeah.
and I love Dane DeHaan. Thank you for Chronicle, my guy. But fucking absolute garbage, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very
Now
good.
the transformation scene, the Green Goblin transformation scene was fire. But dude, you just looked like a fucking Oompa Loompa outcast.
Oof. Yeah. No. No. You got him dead to rights on that one.
So, to be fair, I put it at good plus, like high good, above the first one. That's my real take. Sorry, Ridge,
I live with that.
I didn't hear your take. What do you think? I didn't hear that first part because you were like muffed out for a second.
I thought it was a good movie, but it just, there was a lot of it that just wasn't it for me. Like you said, the Goblin wasn't I wasn't feeling the Goblin. I thought it was kind of, to me, I thought it was stupid that we went back to the Goblin in a Spider-Man movie at the time.
Let's be
We've
real.
already
Spider.
seen the
Let's be real. Spider-Man 2, the game, did that story better than Amazing Spider-Man 3
Yes.
did. Because
and then to me again, Electro just wasn't it for me.
I
I understand it was for some of us because with Jamie Foxx being that character and he did what he could with it. But the best thing that to me that Spider-Man movie had going for it was the talking that Andrew Garfield was able to give as that Spider-Man to people. Whenever he would sit there and take on bad guys and act like he sneaks out his web.
that was in the first. That was in the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Uh, well, see, all right, you're proving my point here.
I mean, I get you, but the thing that puts this movie so high for me is the mannerisms. Like you were saying, you're on the right track. His mannerisms are out of this world, like Spider-Man to me. His suit is, to me, is the best one. The swinging is so beautiful. The shots are insane. Dude, that scene in the power grid where Electro is bouncing back and forth between the power things and it's playing the itsy bitsy spider. Oh, that scene, I love it. It's art, in my opinion.
What
But
art is him swinging?
yeah, that swinging is I
That
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 that.
is the only art was the swinging shot.
All right, so would you put it above or below the first one?
I put it below the first one.
That's respectable. I give it. I understand. Mikey, do you put it above or below the first one? Mikey?
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
but only on terms of peer pressure.
No, I'm just you can be real.
No, no. On the real, I'm with y'all.
Uh,
Like on the real, I'm with y'all.
Caleb, what do you say?
I agree. I I like it better than the first one, and that's really all I have to say about it. I didn't really care for the first one much
The
anyway.
thing
I
is,
wasn't a big fan at first.
I did like it better than the first one, but when you look at everything that was bad in the movie, it wasn't. Like on a real standpoint, I like it better personally, but
Yeah, personally, I like it better.
on a
I
real
didn't care for
part,
the
it's
first
not.
one.
Okay, now we're into the last three. Then we can move on because we've been on this subject for a while. Um, Homecoming, I think it was a good movie. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was mid. I think it was good. Just flat good. Just the introduction of, not to hit the introduction, but his first movie. We get a great villain and Vulture. Just a few good scenes. That Childish Gambino, Donald Glover as Aaron, or as we all know, the Prowler. Just that's where I put it. I put it just solid good. Ridge.
That was amazing. We finally got Spider-Man back, and we got him in the MCU. And they debuted him in the best way possible, putting him in Civil War. And we finally got somebody that looks like they were actually in high school, playing a high school character, and not somebody that looked like they were in their junior year of college, still being a senior in high school.
Right.
So it was good seeing an actual younger looking Peter Parker. It fit the bill more so. And it was great seeing Vulture. And sure, it might not have been the feathered suit, but how would we have actually felt? Bingo,
Yeah.
actual
Yeah,
feather.
if it was this senile ass old man
I do love. I
in a
love that suit.
in a feathered fursuit, yeah, I'd feel a little, I'd feel a way about that.
I love
And,
Keaton's Vulture suit in that movie, man.
and having it being played by Michael Keaton, just seeing him be a villain was great.
Yeah.
So to me, there was just a lot of good going for that movie, and it made an amazing movie for me.
And Caleb, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I have the same rating for it.
Do you say amazing as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's amazing as well.
And
It's very good movies.
Mikey, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it a flat good. I liked it. It was great for introductory, or like Homecoming, but
I'll put it as at amazing, but under Venom.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just how this ranking's going and the way that we split it. Um, I do have to say I liked Far From Home less.
Yeah,
I did like it a lot. I'm not saying it's not mid. I'm not saying it's mid. I still think it's a solid good, but I definitely don't think it's better than Homecoming. I do like some things that happen in it, and it sets up No Way Home, but I put solid good. Ridge.
Jeez, I just feel like the bad apple out of the bunch on all of these because I thought it
having
was
shit opinions.
a movie yet
Just
again.
stop.
What'd you say, Ridge?
I thought it was an amazing movie again.
I'm not saying it's not. I just
I
didn't think
mean,
it was better than Homecoming.
hey, we got Mysterio in a great way.
Yeah.
We got, I mean, to me, it was just amazing. All right, there's a lot of good going for it.
Caleb.
yeah, I agree. I liked the second one a lot. It was really good. Jake Gyllenhaal was playing Mysterio. I thought it was a good casting. It was a very good script. It was really cool. The ending was completely unexpected, but I do have to say that I like the first one better. So I'm gonna say it's still an amazing movie and all, but it's for me. I'm gonna have to say it's amazing, but under the first one as well.
All right. And Mikey.
I'm with Caleb. I liked it a lot, but amazing under the first. I
So
did like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio though.
so I'm gonna have to do this, guys. I have to put it above Homecoming
Yep, I know what you're going
because
for.
Ridge said amazing. Y'all both said amazing, but under, and I said good. So statistically, it goes above Homecoming. All right, and this one I know we're not gonna have to touch up on too much, but Spider-Man: No Way Home is top tier. It's peak.
Oh yeah, it's the
It's
best one by far.
I I
Oh
I,
yeah,
I think I agree. It's the ultimate Spider-Man movie. Just the fact that we got all three Spider-Men in the one movie, and we got the villains in the one movie. It's the
Yeah,
ultimate Spider-Man movie. If you want to watch Spider-Man, that's it. And like you want to watch Spider-Man and want to live at all the glory, there it is. That's all you got to do. It's number one. Ridge.
Okay, so just before I give my answer, because we all know what my answer is going to be, what kept them, I'm curious, from doing a, without even saying a Sinister Six?
True.
They were so close to having a Sinister Six. How many people were they missing? One,
no,
Uh,
two from having a Sinister Six?
hold on.
well, let's see,
Goblin,
Sandman.
Doc.
Uh,
No, it was one. They were missing one.
yeah, they were missing one because they had Sandman, Doc Ock, Liz, the Lizard, um,
And Electro.
You know,
Electro, and the Green Goblin. So yeah, they were missing one.
they really should put Rhino in that movie. I'll give you that.
I don't know if they should have put Rhino in it per se.
Well,
Nah,
I'm just saying
no,
if they were sticking the villains that we saw in the movie, that's the only reason I said
by
that.
Scorpion.
Scorpion,
Again,
Scorpion is still supposed to come at some point.
Yeah.
to me, if they was
Well,
going,
yeah, but like I think that would have been a good fit for the Sinister Six.
to me, if they was going to go back to one, they should have went back to Mysterio.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Maybe that too. Maybe. Yeah.
Uh, so, anyways, to me, it was it. out of every movie that we have named, it belongs at above them all.
Yeah.
It was we got all three Spider Men in one movie. We got Andrew Garfield got to have his heroic moment of saving an MJ. And you got that emotional feeling whenever he did it. I still have seen TikToks of it, and I still get emotional watching those TikToks
Yep.
of it. Right?
Yeah,
It's
I
still
agree. Like when I saw that in the theaters, I literally about cried.
every part of that movie just hits you in all the best ways. And to me, that's how you do Electro, by the way.
Yeah. That's 100%.
You don't give him the blue lightning. You give him the as comic accurate as possible, and that's what they did right there. Was
That,
they gave him comic accuracy as much as they could without giving him a goofy ass man.
that's definitely the best Electro. 100%.
So to me, it just hit on all cylinders like a good Spider-Man movie should, and I can't wait for the fourth one. Even if we don't have all three of them in it, I don't care where we go from here. You can't go anywhere but up. I
No,
feel like
I
with
agree. And quickly, Mikey and Caleb, give your quick thoughts so we can move on because we got a couple more things to cover before the end, and we're deep into this bitch.
Yeah, we're like an hour and a half in.
we're
More,
past that.
more like
Amazing.
an hour and 45. Yeah.
Oh, something like that.
And Mikey said amazing. Caleb, we don't really
Yeah,
have
I'm
to.
gonna say it's the best one, bar none. My favorite. That's my favorite recent Spider-Man movie, and to me, that really saved the MCU in a lot of ways. But it didn't save it for long. And then Deadpool Wolverine came around and really, really, really saved it. But yeah, I'm gonna say amazing.
All right. All right. On to the next thing, and we're not going to be on this next topic too long because I just want to get quick thoughts from everybody on this. Friday the 13th was Friday, and we know the
So
situation that um, the whole franchise has been in with the original guy not wanting to license the shit to anybody, and just the back and forth with gun media and how the game's getting shut down Christmas time, which fucking sucks. Um, but I do have to ask if you could say what you wish they could do with this next movie. If they do another movie, how would you restart the franchise? Because it clearly has to be a reboot, a remake. So how would you start it? Caleb, I'm gonna start with you.
first off, I probably would not be starting off with Jason's mom,
No,
heavily at least.
they could.
Probably just a slight mentioning so that they understand, kind of the backstory. But that's as far as it should go.
I agree.
So yeah, I feel like rebooting it would be it might be a tough job for them to do, but I feel like that if they do this movie, they they definitely need to make it more sinister. I think more like way more sinister than it's ever been. That give it an element of just true like pure evil out of it, almost like a Michael Myers pure evil, but just like they've got to make it their own. So that's probably where how I think if the reboot ever happens properly, that's how it would be.
All right, Ridge. I know you ain't got much to talk about it, but just getting you out of the
uh,
way.
two things on what I think is I think that they don't need if you're gonna restart it or give us a new movie, don't give us the background. Don't restart it telling us how it all began or anything. Just get right into it. Like the MCU has done with a lot of their heroes. They don't always tell their backstories to some of these guys, like Spider Man and like Fantastic Four. We're not starting with how they first got their powers. We're starting with them already in their prime.
Right.
Let's start the same way with this character. That's just we've heard it so many different times, and if we're going to do it right.
Yep.
That's all. Make
Um,
sure it's up.
Mikey, what do you think?
I think I'm with Ridge. I feel like even if you don't know all the names, and when it comes to Friday the 13th, they're not very difficult to learn. You don't even have to know Jason's name. You recognize the mask. Uh, so I think we would be okay if the movie just started, not like mid kill or anything, but like if the movie started and we already knew what the hell was going on here, I think that would be fine. Um, if Jason's mom is in it or anything like that, there could be maybe a quick snippet for somebody who knows nothing about it.
Just a
And
flash.
she could, like I mean, her it could be Mrs. Voorhees' final moments, like
Yeah.
just you sons of bitches killed my son. I
Right.
did what I have to, bang, and then whatever. Like I think we could just start where we were. You don't got to know everything. You know what, like Camp Crystal Lake, Jason's mom. So long as you know a couple of things, you're good. You don't need everything.
And I'm gonna give my thoughts, and I'm gonna say more to it because I've seen every movie of the franchise. I know the story. I agree with everybody. Pamela Voorhees should definitely not be the main focus of the first movie because that would be boring as fuck. Um, Still, like I said, no hate to you or anything, but when people watch Friday the 13th, they want it for Jason. Just saying. Um,
That's true.
my thing is when they start it, they can start it like they started the 2009 movie. They started with how, like, when it showed Pam Voorhees get beheaded. And that's all you need to know is she got killed by people, and Jason pretty much lives with a vengeance because we have to have some kind of mentioning of his mom because her voice is what drives him. But
Flashback.
flashbacks, yeah, that's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be nothing big. Just flashback. But the thing is, if they redo the Friday the 13th movies, they need to do the Tommy Jarvis storyline. Tommy Jarvis, Corey Feldman played him in the fourth one. He's brought up in the fifth one, but not that great. But Tom Matthews as him in the sixth one, fucking phenomenal. It's one of my favorite characters when it comes to slasher horrors. He's kind of like the big hero, whatever. If you play the game, once you die, and if he gets called back, if Tommy Jarvis gets called over the radio, he comes back to save everybody, to try to help everybody. Tommy Jarvis is one of the best main characters in Friday the 13th. And if they're going to redo the franchise, they need to put him into it. That's the main thing. And I do need to mention to y'all because it's been floating around. Damien Leone, the director of Terrifier, said that he really, really badly wants to do Friday the 13th and make it gorier and brutal.
Oh,
And think about with how brutal that new fucking movie, what's it called? The In Violent Nature, where it's like in the point of view of the killer.
Hmm.
What if they do a Friday the 13th where, yeah, we get these characters who Jason are hunting and we get, a little on them, but a lot of it is through Jason's point of view. I think
that
it'd
would
be,
work well with the whole flashbacks thing.
yeah, I think it would be fire. I think it would be a great builder for a new franchise. Like I said, I mean, not the whole movie because we got to bring Tommy into it and get his character into it, but the scenes we get with Jason are in his point of view. I think those would be crazy. I think you could bring back the iconic POV shot from the killer. Good effect. Like if say he's going to squish somebody's eyeballs out, and it be from his point of view straight into the fucking camera, just flock. They could do some crazy shit, dude. And that's all I have to say about Friday the 13th. Everybody cool on that?
Yeah.
All right, for our
Yeah.
final segment, just because we're a little, we running late. So I had a friend this past week see some shit. Um, they said that they were in their house and they heard their neighbor firing a shotgun. And when they went
Don't
outside,
you love stories that start this way?
they said that two of their baby turkeys and a chicken was missing, and something had took it. Well, they went back and looked at their cameras, and they caught this picture, which I'm showing on the screen right now, and it was a video. Like, it wasn't just a picture, it was a video of this thing darting across the camera or into the background of the woods. We've talked about different situations, how it could be a feral human. We've talked big that it could be the Bigfoot because it's got that Bigfoot pose.
He
Um,
do be hitting that shit.
and we talked about ultimate different things, but I'm gonna tell y'all these points. First of all, we live in the Appalachian Mountains, or we live on the outskirts of the Appalachian. The Smoky Mountains are a part of the Appalachians,
Yeah,
There's
they're a
some
part of
weird things in
Appalachia.
the woods too.
and
There's been times I've been scared to be outside by myself.
and this was out in the boonies. Like they said where they live pretty much right beside a cliff, like a giant cliff that leads into nothing but forestry.
Mm-mm.
So I was telling Brittany, like while we were talking to her, I was like, ask her if she's heard whistles, and she said yes, and she fucking said she whistled back because
Hell no.
she thought it was kids fucking around with her. Hell no. Now I did ask if
Fuck
she's
no, baby.
now I did ask her if she's heard voices in her house trying to like if she's home alone or something like that and she's heard someone call her name or something like that. She didn't really touch up on that, but she said when she's outside she hears voices in the woods. Like she thinks it's just kids. She said she just knocked it off as just kids, but she hears people talking in the woods. What the fuck?
Fuck no, baby.
And
Ask any native on a res about it.
exactly, that's my point. Reservations, the mountains. We're in that heart country of the Appalachians. This shit is real. And to me, that's a skinwalker. There's so much evidence to me that makes it that. What would y'all say about it?
I mean, it could literally be anything, y'all. Like, but I'll say this: it's definitely not just a regular animal from the pictures you showed us.
I agree.
To me, if I had to believe it was something, I don't think it's a skinwalker. I don't think it's a whatever human we call it.
I mean,
To me, it's it just from because I'm looking at it right now. The head color, the hand colors, and the body build and color. That's a Bigfoot. And if something's looking at it and I see the two yellow dots, if that really is, because at the same time I see these two yellow dots, but how the trees look all around,
that
the
I can
trees all
understand.
look like they have yellow dots to them. But if I did have to put this creature as anything, it would be a Bigfoot. I mean, it's hitting the iconic Bigfoot pose. But the head color, the hand colors, it all matches to a Bigfoot. If
I,
it was, if it's an actual being that isn't human.
I can understand that. Like I'm with that. And like I
That and
said,
it doesn't look like there's no Well, from what I can see, it doesn't look like. It looks like there's more so fur around it than there is skin showing, too.
Well, that's the one reason why I brought up a feral human. A feral human is somebody who goes off grid and just lives off the environment, don't wear clothes, nothing, straight purist.
They're
And
not going to have that much hair, though.
over the years, they could, though. There's been people who have said to see him has mistaken them for Bigfoot because they're so hairy and everything.
Well,
But
maybe it's not that we've mistaken them for Bigfoot. Maybe that's just where Bigfoot's actually come from, is by those people.
yeah, I give you that.
Maybe they've mistaken us for little feet.
Yeah. Well, since we're on that, does anybody got anything else to say for the podcast?
Ah,
No, not really. I think we
No,
covered pretty much everything we wanted to.
I don't think I've got anything for the people.
just the only thing I can think of to say is, guys, if you liked it or not, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Tell your friends about this wild, unfiltered podcast that you found of a bunch of dudes just sitting around cutting shit and telling
Yeah.
it shit how it is.
Yep. Well, like they said, like, subscribe, follow us on social media, do whatever you can. Just and if you can, please help spread our names to your friends, family, whoever you think that would enjoy our content personally. Just spread our name.
Feel
And
free to leave a comment and tell us whatever ideas you might have.
right, exactly. We're always open to ideas. And if y'all like any specific type of topic, well, we'd definitely like to touch up on it. But like I said, this has been the episode. Thank you for sitting through and watching it. Even though sometimes we can be insufferable, but we're not sorry. Um, but yeah,
Or just listening.
yeah, just listening, man. Thank you guys. We love you. This has been the episode. We'll see you later.
Peace out,
Bye.
y'all.